In my survival series, I am trying to build an industrial era city somewhere here. And today I'm going to be building significant parts like streets and buildings. But before that, we need to build a sheep farm, which will help me plan things out better. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to the time lapse. Before we get to the time lapse, I'm going to ask you guys to subscribe. Last time I asked you guys to subscribe, a large portion of you guys did, and I have a goal of reaching 100 subscribers by the end of this year. And if you guys could subscribe, that would help me a lot on this goal. But anyways, on to the video. Alright, I got the farm fully built. Now I just need to bring some sheep over there, which is going to be quite... What the hell? You guys are just wandering around the mountains now? Oh, you're probably my mending villager, I bet. Oh, efficiency 5. Yeah, good to know. You're just out wandering the forest. Anyways, just need to find some sheep so I can bring them back to the farm to breed up and then move them in. You know, I feel kind of stupid putting them in the middle of the ocean now. Alright, so I got all the sheep loaded in. In the time lapse, I didn't show me adding these extra glass blocks, but I did that anyways. So that gives me 40 sheep, or 3 of every color. And then if we go into these chests, we got all the wool I got from about one night AFKing. But I would say pretty successful. But on to other stuff. Now that I got the wool farm done, I'm going to begin working on the roads. The road, I want it to go something like this. So we're going to be using a basalt base, which kind of looks like asphalt, but like a slightly more primitive version that would be more in time with this era, and then we're going to lay that all out. And then on either side of the street, it's going to have andesite all along here to look like a gutter, and then having a solid andesite block on this edge here to look like a sidewalk. Alright, so I've begun clearing out this little strip of land right here, which is going to be the first series of houses that go right here. And eventually I want to extend this road all throughout this place. So a lot of these house designs I'm going to be repeating throughout like the area, because to do a unique design every single time would be ridiculous because I just have way too much space to cover. But this first design is going to be like a really reminiscent of like a medieval house. It's just going to be more taller and it'll be shoulder to shoulder with the other houses. And then we can go up top here. This roof is a good example of why you should always build at odd number of blocks, because now this roof looks really funny. So I'm going to extend the entire house just one more block to the right. Alright, and just like that, extending the roof that one block made the world of difference. It actually looks a lot better now. Not only the roof, but also like the entire build itself. And now I can actually, since there's that one more block, there's actually 2 convenient places where I can carve a window, just right here and here. And this dark oak is actually only going to be the trim of the roof. The majority of the roof is actually going to be spruce. This house is ridiculously small. Alright, and just like that, it's all finished. I got the house extended, put the bricks in up top so it looks like a fully completed build. Now it's done. It looks alright. I don't want all the houses to look like this, because if they all look like this, the area starts looking less modern and more out of date with this stuff that I have built so far. But every house like that every so often isn't bad. The next house over will be more modern and stuff. And using these bricks made me realize that I desperately need to get a fully automatic brick farm, because I'm going to be using a lot of these bricks. Because even though like the factory is probably the worst of it, I still will use bricks over there. I use bricks over here. I'm using them everywhere. So at some point I'm going to get a full auto one. There's a lot of semi-automatic ones that you have to mine to clear yourself. And I don't see the point in that, because that would be no faster than going to the lush caves like I currently do. But if I can get a full auto one, I can overkay it overnight. This next house I'm going to build right over here next to this one is going to be a style that's going to be a lot more similar to the rest of the houses in this area. So we're going to start with a stone brick base, then add a brick layer that's one bigger on top of that, and making sure that the houses are tall and have like wider top stories than they do bottom stories is important to this style, because you think about it, you're in a city, so land would be at premium, so you can build as high as you want. I'm actually going to change this up a little bit. It just doesn't look quite right here. Maybe I'll use that design later, but even with those details added, it didn't look quite right. This roof is going to face opposite like this one is. There we are. I think that little detail just breaks up the roof so much and makes it look like less monotonous. The other thing you can do is you can go into here and you can set the door back, and just doing that allows you to add like little details here and there to make it look a lot better. The thing I've regressed so far is I actually made a mistake here. All these houses should be back one more block so I can put the andesite like I have on this side. I'm definitely gonna be doing that next time now though. Alright, an important detail whenever using stone brick, you can always work this in, is cracked stone brick and mossy stone brick. And those are just really nice blocks that many other blocks don't have. So using them here is always really nice. So after I've walked you guys through building those two houses, I want to push this landmass back so I can continue the street along this way. And I actually want to build something larger here, not the size of these houses, much larger. Maybe like a townhome apartment style structure across here. And I just need to wipe all this terrain, so... Alright, we got all that done in the time lapse. Mainly just need to detail it now. However, I did make a mistake. I should have put it back 2-3 blocks. I want to do a staircase running along the outside here, but I can't because otherwise it would go over the road kind of like this and it would be kind of annoying. So the first detail I want to add is like a pipe. So we're gonna have this run from here. Alright, now we have like a pipe running along the side of the building. Eventually that copper corners will oxidize, and they'll probably oxidize pretty quick since they're spaced apart, as copper that is grouped together oxidizes more slowly. Next thing I want to add is some windows. I also think on some of these windows I'm going to add like a planter box, something like this. Something like that I think looks pretty good. And of course we'll put another window there. Alright, I thought the original window was a little bit too small, so I extended them all up one block, and that window is different because the shape of that little extra part out there is different from this one because these aren't perfectly centered. Another detail I thought would look good would be like some grapevines using leaves that maybe like I'm thinking could be across there. Vines like these are always good things to add to builds because they just add a lot of like, I'd say like character and easy way to get a lot of green into a build. The important thing about building these is that you make sure that they go down and like to right direction instead of like just dropping straight down. Another thing I recommend doing is like not leaving in corners. So all across this, I'm just gonna break out these thicker corners so you only have like the diagonals touching. See, something like that. I think I'm gonna add right down there a split that goes underneath there. Something like that I think looks pretty good. Alright, now so I decided just to let it overhang here. And just not to worry about it too much because no matter what I do, I need a staircase up here for it to look good. And so now I'm going to continue this staircase up to here, and then around here I want to continue like hugging the wall and just run this layer all around here. So I'll have kind of like a balcony almost. Alright, so I've extended this walkway all along here. The idea is that these are like townhomes, so multiple people are supposed to live in here. And this access, but it's all the same on the inside. And actually, I messed that door up. But yeah, we just have this walkway that now can take you all the way across the entire bridge area.